So Nebraska is going to probably try to play a little bit faster than some of the teams you've seen in the last couple of games. What kind of challenge does that pose, given your lineup dynamics now, if any?
Just trying our best to, be on our line, and the guy guarding the basketball, doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of him and just keeping it by the paint. I think, just not beating ourselves in terms of allowing them more opportunities in transition. I think the more they can get in transition, the more they can play in space. It's harder on their opponents. A little different, obviously, since they're playing tonight versus Indiana.
Yeah.
They got the quick turnaround, but you get to watch them play against Indiana. I know it's going to be a road game for them, and then they're going to play us at their place. But it still gives you a pulse on them playing versus another Big Ten team and getting ready for that. But I just think having pride on the basketball, not fouling, trying to keep the guys in front of us, make them score over us. I don't think that's any different than any other game, but they're pretty athletic. They do a good job of driving the ball. And, we're a little bit bigger, but we also only going to play that way about half the game.
Right. How deep do you have to go to figure out their roster, their individual players? Because it's a completely new team from last year.
Yeah, normally you have a lot. Half of your team is new. That's a big turnover, but their whole team outside of Thor is new. Burke sat out last year, so we didn't play with him, but he was at least there. It's a lot different when you go to watch on tape. And I've watched him play about 3.5 games now, and you're literally starting from scratch in terms of their personnel. And the assistants have went through and watched them and typed up stuff, for kind of your cheat sheet to have a feel for things, and you have their stats. But no, it's all those guys are brand new to me, and but you just got to try to learn their what they like to do and what they don't like to do. A majority of them are going to try to make individual plays. They all will shoot threes. They all try to break you down, and so just trying to figure as the game progresses, who's playing well for them and who's not, and trying to give them obviously more attention.
Is it an important test for you guys when Matt and Travion are playing together to be able to control the tempo of the game, to keep it in the half court, so to speak?
Yeah, but also, you want to be able to, make people pay when they take bad shots or they turn the ball over. It's just, you're still going to try to get in transition when you do that, but just to try to be efficient when you do get in the half court, and know that those guys need to touch the basket.
And the most important thing is obviously you're doing a pretty good job with turnovers. That's
Correct.
The best way to keep people out of transition.
Correct. Since we've played bigger, but like I said earlier, even though we're starting that way, Travion played 18 minutes
Right.
the game before, and some of that time was him at the 5 with somebody different at the 4.
Right.
So we're playing in those games. Now, the game before he played more minutes, they played more together. But the other team obviously also played 2 7-footers, and that's kind of your dilemma. Can you get it to where they have to match up to you, or do they get it to where you have to match up to them? Or does both teams just kind of hold serve and play the way they want to play, and the other team just tries to take advantage of the matchups and the situations that it creates.
Can you just kind of speak to the challenges of what you're going to have to do after Nebraska going right to Ohio? And, obviously Nebraska's doing the same thing today. Just those kind of schedule quirks this time of year, how difficult is that?
Well, you're done with finals, so you don't have classes, so you don't have to worry about, that element of guys missing class and guys getting back, have to make up work and things of that nature. So hopefully, getting done with finals, we don't control our conference schedule. And we obviously aren't going to play games during finals, so you're going to get into some things of this nature. I think it's good. I think it's good that guys have to be able to play a game, travel, wait a day, and play another game. It's kind of part of it. And for us, we trying just to get a road win. If we could get 2 on this road trip, that'd be great. But obviously, our focus is with Nebraska, and we'll start to worry about the other things when we get to it.
Is there anything different how they put together the Big Ten schedule in December this year? I mean, there seems to be more games spread out over a week or so, as opposed
it's a little more spread out.
Is that something that you foresee for the future, or is it
well,
just
everybody
calendar?
has different finals schedule, and not everybody can put some games back to back like that in that first weekend. I think they try their best to hold those dates. You have some non-conference scheduling conflicts that pop up. Everybody has. Gym availability is a little bit different for each institution. So there's a lot of things that go into, not just the final schedule. There's a lot of things that go into it. So I think they just try to get guys to save as many dates in that block as they can, so they can make it work.
What have you seen from Aaron Wheeler since you made the lineup switch? Maybe not more games, but practice, and this how he's handling that switch.
Right. Well, he handled it. He was very professional. I thought he did a good job of, just trying to get into the game and do things to help us. It's hard. When you struggle, it's difficult because you've always dealt with coming in and out of games. And then when you play and you struggle and you don't come in and out of games and you play more, and now you go searching as a player. It's really hard. I try to use a lot of different analogies, but anybody who can really, really shoot the basketball still goes into slumps. Even the good players have a 2-game, 3-game, 4-game slump where you just don't shoot well. So everybody battles that, and for him, he's rebounded the ball a lot better for us. But then I think sometimes, you just, as a player, when your shot's not going in, it's so frustrating. It affects other parts of the game. And hopefully, coming off the bench, it can allow him to relax a little bit and shoot the ball better.
Can you talk about the boost that Sasha's given you guys just shooting-wise?
Right.
Obviously being inserted in the starting lineup here.
Yeah. Well, obviously he had a big game against Virginia, and then he had a big second half against Northwestern. He played well and knocked down some shots and made some nice drives against Northwestern. And that's what we needed to do. Give us space in the post and allow those guys to play and allow those guys to maneuver. Him and Jihad together, I think, really do that well. But just happy for him. He had to wait his turn, so to speak. At our place, and then we got into a couple games, and he got injured early in the year, and we got into some pressing games, and we kept a couple point guards out there, so that limited his minutes a little bit. And so, he got an opportunity. He's made the most of it, so he's done really well.
He and Proctor are getting a lot of steals. Is there any real causation to that? Just the way the ball's bouncing, or anything they're doing well that they're generating
just
some
trying
turnovers?
to have active hands. Trying to be the right place and understand what's going on and have active hands. I think if you're in the right place, do your job and make it difficult on people, some things will happen for you.
Coach, spacing-wise with Sasha, besides just scoring the ball, how much easier does he make the rest of the guys just to space things out?
Right. Well, just trying to get him moving, in some of those speed cuts and some of the different actions that we try to use to, whether we throw the ball inside or get some action off of that, or, someone's dribble penetration and he's moving, or trying to find the quick threes in transition, or baseline screens that we run a lot of. We don't run as much this year as we did last year, but just trying some different actions. And sometimes you can manipulate the defense when people, he makes a couple and people kind of overdo things. Guys can get some slips or layups, but more than anything, it's just being able to knock down those shots and people being aware of it, and then allowing people to drive the basketball more and allow us to get deeper position in the post.